watching CNWG, Comcast, Northwest Georgia. Now, from your hometown news team, a closer look at the people and stories that shape Northwest Georgia.
Hello and welcome to A Closer Look, the show that takes a more in-depth look at topics that are important to you. I'm Barry Parks in for Jennifer Abney, and today on A Closer Look we have as our guest a group from Camp WinShape out at Berry College. We're going to be talking about making gifts for Father's Day. But before we do that, we're going to take a look at what's going on in your hometown. We're back for a closer look, and thank you for joining us. Today we're going to be taking a look at a lot of topics with Father's Day coming up this weekend. Some quick and easy gifts for you to make for Dad. Also, we're going to be looking at clay dyeing made fun, pottery for all ages, and of course, it's Thursday, it's Pets of the Week, and your pet question will be coming up later in the show. We'll get started right after these messages.
Something huge is coming. HBO, The Works. 3 separate channels, 3 different choices. HBO, immense hits and award-winning programs. HBO Plus, always a different choice. HBO Signature, the finest films and originals. Plus, Cinemax for more movie choices. All this can be yours.
Get HBO, HBO Plus, HBO Signature, and Cinemax for only $11.95. Call Comcast now to order at 291-7288.
Some days, you can hardly wait to get home. You've got plans, big plans, great taste, a certain style, a place that's all your own. You love your home. You'll love HGTV, the new cable channel for remodeling, decorating, gardening, and crafts.
Tune in to Comcast today.
Hear ye, hear ye. Call this number now to get information on how you can buy cars, trucks, vans, motorcycles, TVs, VCRs, stereos, jewelry, cameras, boats, houses, and condos at bargain prices. Luxury items for pennies on the dollar at a fraction of their original cost. How do you get in on the action? Call now for information on how you can obtain the names, address, times, and dates of these fabulous sales events. Find out how you could be the proud new owner of a car, truck, or van for as little as $100 to $500. We at Data Services are the best source of auction and foreclosure information because we handle the auction and property listings for the entire nation. It's easy, and we'll tell you how to save thousands of dollars by taking advantage of government auctions. We'll tell you exactly where and when the next auction in your area will be. Hundreds of vehicles are being sold every week in your area. You'll find your dream car, van, or truck for as little as $100 to $500. This exclusive and privileged information is available to you now. Call Data Services now for your up-to-date auction catalog. Your auction representative is standing by with information on how to get in on the next auction in your area. Call now.
Welcome back to A Closer Look. You know, with Father's Day coming up this weekend, it's the last minute, but you still have time to get some ideas together to make gifts for your dad. And we have some folks from Camp WinShape out at Berry College who are going to help us decide what we can do for Dad. using nature in many cases at the last minute. We have Julie Trejo and Whitney Barton, both with Camp WinShape out at Berry College. Well, looks like you guys have some good ideas here for us, some clay pottery that you can make for Dad at the last minute for the Father's Day holiday coming up. Julie, would you like to start telling us what you guys are doing out there?
Well, our theme this summer is I Am the Clay, and so we've done a lot of projects with clay. Whitney has made a finger puppet here, and you want to tell the process you went through to do that?
Show us a little bit more about it, and show it that you can actually put your finger in this. It's not actually just a lump of clay. It's functional as well.
You put your finger in like that, and it's like a finger puppet that you can do for your dad on Father's Day.
How did you go about making this? Did you make this one?
Yeah, but the guy, he helped me make the nose and everything because I couldn't do it. And
Did you
shape it with your fingers like that?
How long did it take you to make that?
Well, it took me about maybe 10 minutes.
Not that long. Julie, what's it like to come up with ideas for these kind of things? Are the kids creative, or do you have to...
Oh, they are much more creative than we are. And we'll say, okay, here are your materials, go with it. And they are so creative, they come up with such a wide variety of things and a wide range of projects. In a senior camp class, which is our 13 to 16-year-olds, they've made these trinket boxes out of clay. It was rolled out flat with a rolling pin, and they cut 5 squares, 6 actually, to make it a cube, and one is the lid, and they personalized some of their pull tops with it, and they texturized this one. Whitney can even talk about how it's textured and the process they went through to do that.
Let's have you start, first of all, tell us what kind of materials we need to make this, because you can't obviously go out and get this kind of clay just anywhere. Tell me what you need.
This can be obtained from an arts and crafts supply store or whatever. We are fortunate enough to have a kiln to fire these when we're finished, and the kids will take home hardened, finished products at home. If it's kept safely on Dad's desk or Dad's dresser, it should be hard enough at the end of a couple of weeks to withstand some cleaning.
Okay, back to now the design, Whitney, that you really, you have to use your imagination to come up with these. Tell me about what kind of materials you can use to make this look this way. It doesn't happen by itself, obviously.
Yeah, you have like these instruments that, different kinds of instruments that there's like lines across them, and then there's some that's, I think, has circles or something like that, and you cut them out, and then you have this, for beads, to make beads, you have a skinny little point thing with a handle, and you stick them to make the holes, and it's really neat how to do it.
Scientific terminology, I like that.
And people at home could probably use a paper clip.
Sure.
Straight pen,
how about
pen,
a pencil?
Pen top, pencil.
The point of a pencil. So it doesn't seem
something
that difficult.
that had a smaller diameter, smaller around.
Okay.
And this is a pinch pot. The kids started with a lump of clay and pinched it up and made it hollow, and then they've etched different things onto them with that very scientific tool that has a sharp point.
Well, that's just a point. It doesn't take a lot of ingenuity here. It's
you
just
don't have to order it from a special place. It's laying around your house already.
Whitney, would you say this is easy project? These are easy projects to make for Dad?
This would, I think, would be probably easy, but some can be hard, but this was really easy.
So, go ahead.
Depends on the level of complexity, how many details you want to put in it, doesn't it?
So in other words, you could invest a couple hours in a project, or like Whitney said, 10 minutes for the finger puppet. Let's talk about some of the uses now. It's obvious this is a pen holder, you know, maybe some change in the trinket box. What are some other things that we can make out of clay that would be relatively easy?
We made a candy cane house. And
a candy cane house. Tell me more about that. What are you referring to?
Well, it was kind of like more like a gingerbread house, and we had little designs all over it, candy canes, and
it was a group sculpture, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was all.
It sounds like a lot of people were involved. How many people were involved in that project?
There's about maybe 10 people in our class.
So all 10 of you worked on that.
Yeah.
So it can be from the most simplest thing to the complex, like a gingerbread house. Geez.
And our warm-up activity, some of the kids have sculpted people around camp.
Wow.
So if they did a sculpture of Dad at this point in his life, I'm sure that would be appreciated and become dear many years to come. Campers or kids who are younger than camp age might want to do the traditional handprint in the clay.
Which is always cute and real easy.
Oh, yes.
Another project you guys are working on, and it's simple as well, but it's very heartfelt, is postcards. You have a project going on with postcards and letters to Dad. Tell me, you want to take that, Whitney? Tell me what you kids are doing with the postcards?
What did you write on yours?
Well, I wrote, I don't know, I forgot, but I wrote lots of things.
I love you, Dad.
Yeah.
And you told him what you were doing?
Yeah, I told him about my friends that I met, and my postcard had like a little house, wooden house on it.
So you actually drew the house on there yourself too?
No, it's already on there, but they just give it to me.
So basically, this gives the chance, Julie, an outlet to express kind of how they feel when kids are not too verbal about it. They can write it down. Is that what you say?
Yes, and I was on the phone with a dad before we came over to the studio, and he pulled out letters that his daughters had written him last year at camp.
Wow.
So it is an endearing sentiment and a keepsake.
It will last as long as perhaps the clay will, if you just take basic care of your clay. Could you tell us how long that would last? These keepsakes could last for a long time for Dad.
Depending on the care, and like I said, since ones made at home will not be fired, they probably need to have a little extra TLC, and they don't need to be, you know, used to play tots or whatever.
So they can actually make these at home, and they will dry by themselves in a matter of time. You don't have to dry them.
Right.
Is that true? You can.
They'll be more brittle and more fragile done at home, but you can also take them to a clay supply place or ceramic supply place, and they'll fire them for you.
Okay, so make it at home and then take it somewhere else, have them taken care of. And at the same time that the pin holder, the trinket box is on the desk, Dad will have those mementos as well as the postcards that these kids, a simple little effort that they can just take a little time to make a happy Father's Day for Dad.
Right, and some of our younger kids are 7 years old. They're drawing great pictures.
Easy stuff
Dad
to do.
things.
Good things for Father's Day. Well, when we come back from the break, we're going to take a look at more Father's Day gifts. We're going to be looking at T-shirt dyeing with Georgia Clay. That's coming up after this.
See you.
WG2.
Who starts?
And South,
And South 107
are giving away this new Tacoma from Riverside Toyota.
What we're trying to say is congratulations to Curtis Edwards, winner of the Trucks and Bucks giveaway.
I feel good.
Enjoy your Toyota Tacoma from all of us at South 107, Riverside Toyota, and ZNWG10.
Experience beautiful movement and fascinating rhythm at the Dance Center. From tots to teens, there's something for everyone at the Dance Center. Ballet, jazz, modern, tap, swing, and gifts for your little dancer at the Backstage Boutique. Hurry to enroll in summer camps. Register now for fall classes, dance, music, theater, and performing arts at the Dance Center, 415 Broad Street in Rome.
Here's food for thought. Jay's Deli can cater your event or special occasion. Cam and Marcia at Jay's will create a special order menu for any event from dinner party to tailgate party. And as an added convenience, Jay's Deli can bring their grills to your place, rent their building in historic downtown Rome to add a cozy atmosphere to your gathering, or prepare and bring their treats to your event. Jay's Deli is located at 15 East 3rd Avenue in Rome. Their hours are 7:30 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. So stop in, grab a bite, and say hey.
Shop in the peaceful sound of the running fountain water at the lily pad. Just in time for spring, we have a wide variety of watercolor dishes and a grand assortment of blue and white decorative pieces. For all you collectors, we at the lily pad have Seraphim Angels, the brand new Sunshine Bluebirds, Emmett Kelly Clowns, and Red Hat of Courage Firemen. New merchandise is arriving daily at the lily pad. Don't miss your chance to see what everyone is talking about. That's the lily pad in West Rome, 6 Coker Drive.
Welcome back to A Closer Look. I'm Barry Parks, and today for Jennifer Abney. This Father's Day weekend coming up this weekend, we're spending the entire show looking at a lot of ideas that you can take just a little time and make a special memento for Dad. We have with us now David Trejo from out at Camp WinShape, as well as Kyle Doss. They're both, he's a kid camper.
That's right.
David, I assume you're a director out there, work with the kids. We have a special theme for Camp WinShape this year that all these gifts are focused around. Let's talk about that. I think Kyle is the one that's going to tell us about this year's theme at Camp WinShape.
This year's theme is I'm the clay, and what God's saying to Camp WinShape that he's molding and making Camp WinShape like he's molding Georgia red clay with our shirts.
That's a perfect theme, I think, and the gifts that you guys, the ideas that you're making for Dad. Of course, Camp WinShape is a recreational camp with a Christian emphasis, so we want to point that out as well. Well, with the theme I Am the Clay, you folks have taken on a project here with Georgia Clay, dyed T-shirts.
That's
Tell
right.
me about what made you think about this idea, first of all.
Basically, what we were doing is we were just coming up with a theme every year, every summer. So this year, our theme, since Barry is known for its red clay and Georgia itself, we decided, well, why don't we just take advantage of it and tie-dye some shirts with our theme on the clay. So that's basically where we came up with our theme this summer.
In order to make one of these shirts, there's several steps you have to go through. This is a design that Kyle came up with himself. Kyle, you want to tell us what the first step that you had to do to make this T-shirt that you're working on?
What you do, you get something like rectangular, just put it on like try to get it in the middle of it, and then you write like something like on the clay, which I did an Indian style.
Whoa, that's pretty neat.
And then you make like your square around. Since you have that, you put like little objects around it.
Basically whatever you want to put on there. After you get your drawing made, which this is a good job, by the way, then you're going to transfer that to the T-shirt. David, you want to tell me about how that works?
That's correct. Basically what we did, once Kyle came out with his design, then we would take a plain 100% T-shirt because it absorbs the clay. And we would just put it underneath the shirt. And basically what the kids did, they just copied this once it was underneath the shirt.
Oh, just trace it then.
Right.
Okay,
And then
let's see if we can get a better how that transfers to the T-shirt there. Just place it under and just trace right over your design. So you can see that Kyle's drawing is basically replicated, same thing right here on the T-shirt. So you have the child's actual drawing, which makes it more special for Dad or for whomever you're giving it to, the child to put themselves into this design.
That's correct. We just use a Sharpie pen. That way it'll come out, it'll show up to the shirt.
Okay, so 100% cotton T-shirt, Sharpie pen.
Right.
Next step.
Next step, well, like I said, we have plenty of Georgia red clay, so what we do is we go out in Barry, and there's a place with a bunch of red Georgia clay, and we take buckets of clay and we shift it, and we get all the rocks and stuff out of it. And basically, once you get the fine stuff, you put some warm water in it, and then you get your 100% cotton shirt. And just like Kyle here, he has his design, and basically what we do is we just go ahead and put it inside the bucket, and you can probably let it sit there for maybe 3 or 4 minutes.
That's all?
And it'll absorb the dye itself or the clay, and you just go and you hang it up. And
let's get a better look at this over here.
And basically it'll come out, this texture will be like this, and it'll come out with the design, and you just let it dry, and then after it dries, you can wash it in cold water, maybe 1 or 2 times by itself so it won't bleed. And basically you have your shirt there, and what the kids are doing is they come and they have, like Kyle said, he has his own design, but we have our Indian designs, and we have a lot of kids that are making shirts for their fathers also. I asked Kyle if he was doing that for his father, but he likes a shirt, so he's making a shirt for himself.
Keeping it for himself. That's
right.
My kind of man right there.
Right.
Well, these are called dirt shirts, and it's obvious why they're called that, but I'm amazed that you could just go out in the woods and use Georgia clay in your own backyard and soak a T-shirt in it, and it looks like this. But that's what you're saying, basically.
That's correct. And a lot of times we have parents, when the kids go home, they're always saying, well, all our kids, their socks are stained with red. So we decided, well, why don't we just use it for our advantage, and we came up with the red clay shape.
So
shirts.
Something that's been the bane of mothers for years has now turned out into fashion for Dad for Father's Day. Now, you can also tell us, how long will this last? Have you tried these out? Have you tried to wash them and see how long the actual dye lasts?
This is our first year, but basically, I mean, it should last, for a long time. It all depends on the wear and tear and how often you use it, and but I mean, it should last a good,
A lot of mothers would say you probably can't get that stuff out of there.
That's correct.
Give us some more washing tips as far as what it takes to keep it looking good, because the Sharpie itself, you have to take care of that so it won't run, I would imagine.
Right. Basically, after you, like I said, you want to wash it by itself for the first couple times, and most of the dye should stay in itself, and after eventually a lot of wear and tear, then you basically have to design another shirt. Right. Just restart the whole process again.
Cold water, warm water?
Cold water.
Wash them in cold water. So again, basically just have a child come up with whatever idea. He can do whatever he wants to.
That's right.
To put himself into this, you're going to trace it onto the T-shirt by putting it, you said, I believe put it inside the shirt, so you can just trace it off. And you were, tell us again, you only have to soak this for how long in a bucket of dirt water?
It might vary, probably no more than anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes.
Really?
It's just long enough for the for the dirt to absorb into the shirts.
And that seems like it would take a lot longer, but it's a really good looking product when you get it finished. It looks just like it's tie-dyed. There's a lot of striations in the colors. Something Dad would be really proud of, with those little hands getting in there and doing the work themselves.
Son made from their sons. Absolutely.
Well, thanks, guys. We appreciate that. Good idea.
Thank you.
When we come back from the break, we're going to be featuring our Pets of the Week, and we'll also have our pet question that's coming up on a closer look after this.
Sunpoint Senior Living, a community for assisted living and Alzheimer's residents where people maintain personal independence yet receive daily assistance. Residents have a 24-hour staff 7 days a week and care plans tailored to each resident. Life enrichment activities promote friendship and socialization, maintaining the highest possible quality of life. For Alzheimer's and related dementia residents, we offer Paloma House, where the atmosphere is calm and structured. We invite you to call or come by Sunpoint today. You can count on Lee's Furniture in historic downtown Rome to have the best quality furniture, affordable prices, and free same-day delivery. Lee's has a great selection in their showroom. Lee's also has over 900 fabrics for your customer orders. So there's no doubt about it. For tremendous savings, come to Lee's Furniture, 206 through 208 Broad Street in historic downtown Rome. Quality, service, and savings. 3 characteristics that place Knight's Jewelers above the rest. In business since 1983, Knight's Jewelers offers you a wide array of fine quality jewelry. We have everything from engagement rings to sterling silver, anniversary rings, and we also have a large selection of Seiko and Citizen watches. Jewelry is the gift everyone loves to receive, so come by Knight's Jewelers, conveniently located in Riverbend Mall, where quality is at the lowest price.
There's a celebration going on at Mucho Mexico. Mucho Mexico is celebrating 5 years in business, and you're invited. This month, Mucho Mexico celebrates its 5th year in business with the most delicious Mexican food in Rome. Mucho Mexico also has the best margaritas in town, perfect for any celebration. Join the celebration at Mucho Mexico, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Mucho Mexico in the Kroger Shopping Center.
Pet Question is brought to you in part by Dr. Neil Brackett of the North Broad Animal Clinic in Rome.
Hi, I'm Dr. Neil Brackett with this week's Pet Question of the Week. This week's question has to do with what kind of things should I look for in a pet dog before I go pick one out from the pound or the animal shelter. Things that you want to look for generally, you want to look for an older dog, probably. The average age of a dog in the animal shelter is going to be about 18 months of age. And the simple reason for that is many of these dogs have come in because of some sort of behavior problem when they're going through a little bit of teenage rebellion, and they're no longer cute and cuddly anymore. Generally, you can find a good dog that's a year of age or more. And if you get a dog this old, you're not going to have to worry about getting it a series of 4 or 5 different vaccines as you would with a small puppy. You want to look for a dog that seems very active, seems very happy, and wants to be petted. You don't want to look for a dog that is trying to shy away, or a dog that is overly submissive, that rolls over immediately when you walk up to it. And the other thing you might want to consider is many of the dogs that you might find at the animal shelter, if they're older, may already be housebroken.
Well, we're back on a closer look, and it's time for Pets of the Week, and we have 2 furry friends here with us, and I'm having a lot of fun with this guy. This is a beautiful Cocker Spaniel, mostly a full-blooded Cocker Spaniel, looks like.
Yeah, he appears to be full.
We're joined with Elaine Graysick of the Rome Floyd Humane Society. Tell us about who you are calling Rusty. Tell us about this dog.
I was calling Rusty, but I understand that his potential adoptive father thinks his name should be Zorro.
I think he looks like a Zorro.
He'll answer to that. He says, that's fine with me, just call me.
He is pretty, that's for sure. This pet came from the pound, you were telling me.
Came from the Rome Floyd Animal Control, And this is our...
The cat, of course.
This is a fellow with attitude. This is Boy's Day Out, Red-Headed Boy's Day Out. This is Archie, Archie with attitude. And Zorro keeps trying to make friends with him, but Archie wants none of it.
Archie's not having a part of that.
No.
Now, these pets can be adopted. You want to tell us about how to go about that?
Yes, go out to Floyd Animal Control on Mathis Road any day between 8 and 4 weekdays and Saturday, and on Sunday from 1 to 4. And it's only $20 to adopt any cat, $25 to adopt any dog.
Wow.
And there's a wonderful, wonderful assortment of dogs. I might add, for people looking for a particular species, there are 2 beautiful miniature dachshunds out there.
Really?
Couple of poodle mixes, just a couple of Rottweiler mixes. Just
anything you could be
anything you could
looking
imagine.
for.
And of course, lots of wonderful cats of all
cats
colors.
galore, I'm sure.
Yes.
It looks like this guy might have had some training. He's being so calm. I think he's taken to his new owner. I can't believe I'm even thinking about that.
I think it's a perfect match.
Either way, well, you know, these are beautiful pets. Now, the pet wash is coming up on June 26th. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with that?
Yes. Now, that, of course, is a different entity from Animal Control. We're the Humane Society, and as a fundraiser to help support our foster program, our spay-neuter program, all of the things that we attempt to do to improve the lot of animals in our community. We hold these pet washes as well as other events. This will be at West Rome Animal Clinic.
Right.
And
it's 1 to 5 on June 26th.
Thank you. I blanked out for a moment there.
That's okay. Now, what happens at a pet wash? I've never heard of that before.
Bring your pets, and our volunteers will bathe them and dip them if you want, and for a very, very nominal fee, which will go to support our programs. And I think they're also planning to have a clinic. I'm not sure if that's been firmed up yet, but don't have all the information about that. Our next adoption day at Mount Berry Mall will be July 10th. We had one a week ago this past Saturday, and adopted a number of animals from our foster program. And I might add, our foster program desperately needs donations. It's quite expensive fostering the animals as we do.
I think people don't realize what actually goes into the time when an animal doesn't have a home, what is actually invested there.
Yes, it really can mount up, especially with the medical needs that some of them need.
You have to keep them fed.
That's right.
So viewers just need to come take these pets home. Now, tell me again the process to go about adopting either of these pets today.
Either one of these, just go out to Rome Floyd Animal Control on Mathis Road and fill out the paperwork. You will need to provide identification, and you will have to sign an affidavit that you will have the animal spayed or neutered and will get the rabies shot within the allotted period of time, depending upon the age of the animal.
That's not a lot to ask to give a dog or a cat a home. What's a number that someone could call to find out more, to see about getting in touch with?
I believe you have the number on your display. I can never remember it off the top of my head. Rome Floyd Animal Control. I have to look it up each time.
I don't know that number either, but we'll get that information as soon as we possibly can to the viewers. Well, so Rusty and Archie are waiting for their new owners?
They are, and I hope that Zorro will be going home with you. If not, someone else, please. He's not, I'd like to stress the importance, when you are choosing an animal, make sure it's one that's appropriate for your family, because he had the unhappy experience of being adopted by, right away there, because he is so sweet, by a family with very small children. Cockers are not particularly good usually with small children, and so they brought him back the same day. He's a little too energetic for tiny children.
Oh, well, he may be too energetic for me.
No.
We've got that number for the Rome Floyd Animal Shelter. It's 236-4545 or 236-4537 if you want to get in touch with the Rome Floyd Animal Shelter, Animal Control. Is that correct, Animal Shelter?
Animal Control.
Animal Control, to find out about these or any of the other animals that they have that you can adopt for your own home. That's the numbers for you. Those are the numbers for you to call. We appreciate Elaine Graysick from Rome Floyd Animal Shelter being with us today. And thank you for joining us for a closer look. Tune in tomorrow when we will be looking at more Father's Day topics, giving Dad a new look. for Father's Day. That's something that many of us may need to pay attention to. We appreciate you joining us today, and you can give us your ideas for the show. Mail them to P.O. Box 241, Rome, Georgia 30162, or else fax them to 232-1644. Those are the addresses and the fax number that you'll need to know to give us your suggestions. Thank you for joining us for today's edition of A Closer Look. I'm Barry Parks. For Jennifer Abney, we'll see you tomorrow.
Furnishings for A Closer Look provided by Frick's Furniture Galleries, home of 100 lines of fine furniture and accessories at tremendous savings. 420 Broad Street in downtown Rome. 291-8985.